wins the tip-off. Vlahoff to Gaze. Alley-oop, Dorj! The South leads by 2 on a set play, and Brett Brown, he had that on the whiteboard before they walked out. Leroy misses the first shot for the Northern team.
Look who gobbles it up, Clarence Tyson. He's an offensive rebounding machine.
Mark Davis, a big round of applause as the man who's played in every All-Star game sets his offense going again. Dorj with the hook, and Leroy Loggins with the rebound, but Darryl McDonald swept in and knocked it out of bounds. Here's that opening play.
And what a way for an All-Star game to start. Gaze, not to Copeland, but to John Dorj for the Dodgers.
And Leroy Loggins has just hit a 3 to give the Northern team the lead. Dorj posting up inside. Working the ball, the Southern team. Now Tyson got a touch to it. And the referee says it was the last touch, so Vlahoff will restart the offense from the baseline. D-Mac. He's been very much looking forward to this after missing out last year due to commitments back home. Big rebound from Tremingham, typical fashion. And he's carrying the ball. Derek Rucker wanted it. He's got it now. Puts the steps on Darryl McDonald. What a great matchup that'll be. Steve Carfino. The first foul of the game call.
Yeah, it'll be a great matchup. I think you can say that about 5 matchups out there. Lots of talent out there. And it's the D that the South is going to try and put on the North. But they've got some potent scorers there, some very creative players.
Leroy Loggins has not missed a free throw in his last 4 All-Star games. And he hasn't missed this one.
Well, it sure looked like it was going to go off to the right when you said that.
Both count. And now we've got a 5-2 lead to the Northern team. The only points for the South coming from that spectacular opening play with a John Dorj dunk. And it stays with the South. Leroy arguing with the refs.
Well, after the inbounds play, you'll see what the South is trying to do is keep the floor spread and work those mismatches.
Block. Dorj gets it back, though. He's already having an effect in there. Tremingham gets the rebound eventually. Vlahoff was screaming to his teammates. Obviously, teamwork is not going to be a major part of this game. Tyson. It'll count. Under heavy pressure.
And that's what the South has got. It cannot allow the North to do. Penetration by Derek Rucker enables Clarence Tyson to get a path to the basket. And he's real handy around there, shooting 59% from the field for the year.
7-2, the South leads, and the free throw doesn't go down. No extra point. And this is the team that I'm sure the powerhouse is behind, mostly because Mark Davis, the man, is leading them. And that pass didn't come off. D-Mac pointing. Shane Heal. Heavy pressure from Mark Davis and Andrew Gaze on the double team. Almost forced the turnover. They just couldn't quite get a handle on it before it went out.
And that's something that the South was practicing all day long, was trying to double team out of that on-ball screen, especially when Heal and Derek Rucker are coming off. Shane Heal with a nice one off glass.
That gives the North a 9-2 lead. Vlahoff, alley-oop inside. Dorj controls it well. Gets the 2 points. Is the only scorer so far for the South. And they cut that lead to 5. Rucker with a jump shot. Not gone. Vlahoff holds it up. Oh, unfortunately off the back of Dorj, but he cleans it up. Mark Davis holds it up, and Darryl McDonald, the man they want to keep the ball. Andrew Gaze yet to take a shot. Here it is. Hits the 3. And gets a big response from the powerhouse. Alley-oop play. Doesn't go down for Tyson at the other end. Now the South with a chance to tidy this game up. They're down by 2. Good rebounding from Vlahoff. Leroy all over the top of him. Foul is called.
And you just got a chance to see the open court brilliance of Darryl McDonald. He just got Shane Heal to slip a little bit over and crossed over dribble on him. Looks off the defense, put up a nice soft layup. Unfortunately for him, it didn't drop.
26 years old, Andrew Vlahoff. His 4th All-Star game. Shoots 69% from the line in 1995.
Andrew Vlahov checking out to see what defense they're going to be in after he makes this free throw.
And that ties it up in the All-Star game with just over 9 minutes left in the first quarter. Tyson, and already doing very well against the bigger John Dawes. Tremingham can't come up with the big play. Dawes with the outlet. Leroy intercepts.
Get back! Get back!
Nice pass inside. Tremingham draws the foul.
Well, Leon Tremingham with the ability to jump in the air and then think what he's going to do afterwards. Clarence Tyson gives Leon, that's all the feed he needs. And John Dorge had to put him on the line, make him earn it.
Tremingham looking forward to this, his second All-Star appearance. He's a 76% free throw shooter. Almost banked the first one. Shot a team-high 19 last year for the American imports in that game I spoke of, where they were thoroughly beaten. Dorge will get a lot of rebounds tonight. Nice no-look pass, and Andrew Vlahov with the reverse lay-in gives the Southern team a 2-point lead.
Beautiful how he used the basket to shield off a high-flying.
Tough shot from Heel. Foul against Andrew Gaze there, but let's have a look at the last score.
Nice dish, and watch him use the basket as a shield to get Leon Tremingham. You know he's going to swat some shots tonight. He's just Sydney King's high wire act. He can get up.
Shane Heel getting a bit of a razz from the powerhouse. Shane Heel is one of two players who has played all but one All-Star game. We hail Mark Davis for never missing one, but Heel and Leroy Loggins have only missed one each, and that is a great achievement. Considering Heel is only 25. McDonald, long pass, and Gaze can't quite hold it.
Andrew Gaze thinking about what he was going to do before he caught it.
Rucker puts the steps on D-Mac, goes baseline, Tremingham pump fakes, banks it, 14-11. The Northern team leads. Darren McDonald loses the handle. Tyson sets off Rucker. The Townsville teammates can't control it. Rucker does on the baseline. Heel sets for three, fakes first. Good rebounding and scoring from Leon Tremingham. 16-11. Well, this is that Northern offense that Bruce Palmer spoke about, and a points machine. And now the substitutions come on. Siobhan Scales, Steve Woodbury, and Melvin Thomas.
Well, that's a big feat there by Leon Tremingham, grabbing a board over Mark Davis. Usually he grabs anything close to him, much less letting somebody go over the back of him.
Well, Rucker, Tyson, and Tremingham have left the court, so quite a change here from Bruce Palmer. He's put three fresh bodies on, flicked out to Vlahov for three. And Heel gets the rebound. Leroy! And that is a 7-point lead to the Northern team. What a wealth of talent on this court. Gaze fakes Heel, almost got a foul out of it. John Dorge double teamed, and sufficiently. Davis for three, hits it. MD can shoot from there. 30% from three-point range this year. Actually tried out in the three-point competition, although two other Adelaide teammates did get in the final. That we'll show you later. Andrew Gaze inside John Dorge. And again, Leroy Loggins is involved everywhere. Captain of the Northern team. All over the place. Here's that jam from the man just a few moments ago. The highest team score in the All-Star games was 168 by the South against the North in 1991. The North, incidentally, shot 154 in that game, so don't be surprised if it's a big scoring game. Scales against the double team, and it's effective. Nicely held by Robert Rose, who's on court now, much to the great approval of the powerhouse fans. There he is, driving inside, tough shot, banks it. Robert Rose cuts the Northern lead to one, and Bruce Palmer gets his timeout. Here it is.
Rose off the glass, and he hits these shots consistently, and that's what you're going to see all night long. Guys taking tough shots and having the ability to finish finish them just like that. Robert Rose.
There are so few players who can do that in this league. 21-20 in the All-Star game.
Over in training the last couple days.
Jump shot missed from Reedy, and now Rucker, and they're really running it north. Bruce Palmer said he wants the team to sprint. Border spins, and they've drawn another foul. In fact, it was one of the funniest things I heard all weekend was having a chat with Melvin Thomas at the news conference, and after Bruce Palmer had said that he wants his team to run, Melvin said, I hope I don't get too many minutes. He wants us to run out there?
Well, Melvin Thomas has that type of play where he doesn't look like he's playing hard, but I'm sure that was just a joke.
Ray Borner puts his team in the lead by 1. And Jerome Scott runs it up, listening for the call from Brett Brown as he does. Derek Rucker and Scott, some wonderful guard matchups here as well. Thomas controls it now. Woodbury, give and go. And Thomas misses the lay-in, but Javon Scales on the spot to give his team a 3-point lead. Scales played in the Swiss League before coming here as a late replacement for Brett Flanagan in Canberra. It was a desperate move, but boy, are they glad of the way it's turned out. He's helped revitalise the Cannons. Turnaround jumper from big man Jeff Arnold. 4 points for the game.
And watch this. This is how you get the open court basket. Melvin Thomas probably should have gone up with his right hand here. But Javon Scales, that's why you got to screen a guy out like that. It's very difficult to do on the break. Another angle. Melvin Thomas just off the mark, and watch Javon Scales had the inside position. Slammed it home.
Oh, Woodbury couldn't hit. Thomas was looking for the tip in there. And here we go with Rose. Rob Rose.
Beautiful pass from Jerome Scott. Watch it again. Fires it, threads the needle to Robert Rose. He gets that close to the basket. It's 2.
Rob Rose made 18 points, 11 rebounds and 9 assists in the 1993 All-Star Games. For a game of that caliber, that's amazing. Javon Scales again with a standard jumper inside, and his team is back to a 1-point lead.
He is so tough. He's got such good post moves. Patrick Reedy has the same on the other end. He chooses to go outside. Bombs away from 3-point land.
Well, Pat Reedy, a finalist also in the 3-point shootout. He was runner-up last year to Tony Ronaldson. Thomas, little jumper after leaning on the D. We're inside 1 minute now. First quarter for the All-Star game. 39 all. There it is. 58%. The South much more economical.
They've got to spread the floor out and let the post man touch it a couple of times. They're running 4 out. 1 guy in. Nice drive by Reedy, and he's got a great left hand.
Reedy gets the option. Ronaldson sets. He had time. He hits.
Great hustle by both teams. Both teams getting out on the floor. This is an all-star game, but they mean it. These guys want to go out there and win, and you can see on that last play, right there, Pat Reedy finds the open man, reversing the basketball. Tony Ronaldson from the corner.
Melvin Thomas gets a rest now. Leroy's on court. He just passed it to Derek Rucker, who's looking and frowning as he tries to get some options. Woodbury still on court, pops it up for 2, and ties the game up with 16 seconds left now. Jerome Scott, well aware of the shot clock. He is now anyway. Had that look skyward. We're inside 10 seconds. What sort of play can he work? He goes one-on-one with Rucker. Stripped. Turnover. So, 3.8 seconds for Rucker to execute. It's counting down against him now. Goes for the 3. Hits it! Buzzer beating beauty from Derek Rucker. 44-41.
He knew he had 3 seconds. That's a long time, so he uses the whole bit. Gets into an area where he can make that shot. That's a high percentage shot for Derek Rucker. He knocks it down.
Derek Rucker taking his tally to 3 points, but he has also put his team in the lead in the second quarter. Ronaldson loops it over. Rose spins and sets. First player in a double figures in the Ogletobies All-Star game. Rob Rose with 10 points. His team still trails by 1. Thanks Thanks to that Derek Rucker bomb at the end of the first term. There he is, pointing out positions as this inbound pass goes to Leon Trimmingham.
Leon Trimmingham just too quick for John Dorge. He's trying to pick him up 20 feet away from the basket. That's going to be a tough ask, but it's going to be tough for Leon to guard Big John down here.
A couple of pump fakes from Dorge, and he doesn't hit. Good rebounding from Leroy Loggins. Rucker and Loggins, of course, former teammates in Brisbane before Rucker spent some time overseas and returned to play for Newcastle, and now quarterbacking the Townsville Suns. More good D from the north. Trimmingham. Loggins had time for the three. Dishes. Trimmingham. Tough shot. He was going to make the dunk. Almost stripped and adjusted. Gives his team a 5-point lead.
It's incredible how many of those he makes. He's just got great soft hands.
Pat Reedy fakes. Scott. Rose wants the three. Hits it. Robert Rose, 13 points before his hometown. Has not missed a shot from the field. Has not missed a free throw. And he has pulled his team back within 2. And now they get a chance to tie it up through Reedy, who does. Pat Reedy, what a versatile player. 20 points a game this year at 56%. Trimmingham waits for the options. It's Woodbury. Rucker.
Nice pass.
Scales inside and gets it under the double team. Scales, well, he has been involved in the highlight reels all year, Javon Scales, but he is also a very practical player, Steve.
He sure is. He shoots a high percentage, and he just never takes a bad shot. And he seems to get his shot off with such ease, even with all that tall timber down there.
In fact, he's averaging 25 points at 58%. Good hustle. Scott. Reedy again with that trademark lay-in. No fuss about Pat Reedy. Ties the game up at 50.
After the steal, Jerome Scott's got a decision to make here. He's got to hold it to the last second because Leon Trimmingham could board anybody's shot with enough time. Good execution by both those players.
Clarence Tyson now back on with Loggins. Shane Heal also on court. 3 former Brisbane players together in Heal, Loggins and Rucker, and that's going to help them. Andrew Vlahoff gets back on court as well. 2-point lead now to the northern team. Only 78 players have ever appeared in All-Star games in Australia. 37 of them have played more than one. And that includes a number of the players in this game. In fact, there's only a couple making their debut as Rose turns and misses that jumper. But Vlahoff puts it up high. Dorge again getting over the top in the rebound stakes. Now, he'll get a touch to that, so the South will get it back. Jerome Scott has made a big difference to the Tassie Devils. They've won a couple of games this year. Shooting a little long. That's the second shot he's...
Well, that's a matchup that they felt like they could exploit right there. Jerome Scott got the clear out with Shane Heal. When I say exploit a matchup, it has nothing to do with about somebody's bad D. All these guys are so tough. They can't be guarded with just one person.
Tough shot from Heal. Good rebounding from Clarence Tyson. He banks it. Gives his team a 4-point lead. We've still got 8.5 minutes left in the second quarter, and already, Steve, all but 2 of these players have scored. Jerome Scott is one, and Tony Jensen the other. Vlahoff gets a very nasty roll. The basket counts. Heal, full court pressure again. Rucker on Rose. Another marvellous matchup. Lobbed in. Tyson. Blocked from Dorge. Reedy. Turnover.
There's a shot blocking ability of John Dorge. Leads the league in block shots. But more importantly, not only does John Dorge block plenty of shots, he bluffs at a lot of them too. So you might think he's going to block your shot. He just bluffs at it, and you change your shot anyway, and it causes you to miss. Well, John is so valuable.
John Dorge holds a single-game record for blocks, 14 in one game. Oh, another block. from Trimmingham and Tyson together, but a foul is called.
The personal, offensive number 42, Leon.
Boy, these refs are going to have their hands full all night long because all these guys are great shot blockers. Let's see how. Woo, that one was clean.
For an all-star game, it was a very close call. George on the free throw line, where he shoots 69%. D-Mac is back on court too, giving Jerome Scott a rest. He's missed the second. Tip in from Davis, and Vlahoff wants that one. I think he got a hand on it before it went in. Doesn't matter. His team is leading by 1, the North. The South, I should say. We're bound to get that call wrong at least once. Vlahoff loses the handle, but will get the ball back.
The caliber of these basketball players shows in the little things, like how many loose balls they get their hands on and the hot pursuit on the defensive end of the floor.
Rose lobs it in. Vlahoff posting up on Leroy Loggins. Feels like he can take him, but George was the other option. They draw a foul. Another block there. Leroy Loggins. All the way. 9 points for the game. Robert Rose for 3. Hits it. Well, he's exploding in this game to 16 points. The only other scorer in double figures is Scales with 10. As Heel misses that shot. Nice play from D-Mac. Oh, baby. Here's a run from the South. They lead by 4. Brett Brown telling Andrew Gaze as he gets ready to check in what he wants from him. Jump shot. Trimmingham misses. The North look like they're a little rattled right now. D-Mac again almost going coast to coast. He slipped on the signage. Alley-oop! And Tyson off the Rucker pass. Tightens the game up to a 2-pointer.
Nice pass. Nice dunk. We're going to be saying a lot of that tonight. Great action. How about this one, though? D-Mac in the open court around the back, and he cuts him off. Nice crossover dribble, and then just teases the crowd with a little finger roll.
Darren McDonald, 17 points a game. Here's the alley-oop now from Rucker to Tyson. Tyson takes his tally for the game to 6. Gaze, had to fake there. He was off balance, but Rob Rose was there. Inside, 2 points.
And that's what Andrew Gaze doesn't get a whole lot of credit for, finding the open man.
Well, the North are taking some very tough shots. This is good defense from the Southern team. The platform on which Brett Brown hopes to build a win, and right now they need to. Jeff Arnold came on for Robert Rose. So now we have on offense Hill hits for 3. They've only counted for 2 on the scoreboard. 66 apiece we have here. 3 minutes 20 left in the second quarter. And Steve, I think it's going to be like Future Forces. It'll come down to a last quarter burst. Perhaps some individual brilliance as Brett Maher came up with in that game. Nicely kept in. Thomas. Bonner. Gaze punishes them.
And here comes a 5-point turnaround here. Ray Borner might have gotten away with the travel. That probably would have been better because that was like an outlet pass for the South, which turned into a 3-point play.
Well, they counted Hill for 3, incidentally, so they adjusted that score. It's now 69-67. Thomas didn't really know how to handle that one. Ran out of options. So things just not quite happening for the North at the moment, but the game has been like that. It's seesawed all the way. And that is one of the reasons. 12 turnovers to the South. North may not be executing well, but South is giving the ball up. Gaze driving inside. He had a lane and draws the foul. He hit the ground pretty hard too. 11 points for Andrew Gaze. He and Robert Rose, the only players in double figures for the Southern team. The only players in double figures for the North are Heel and Scales. The Powerade ball leaps around the house. And it's full. And they're loving it here in Adelaide as Gaze sits on the free throw line. Makes it. The reaction from the crowd is something else. I haven't seen that one before. Siobhan Scales now. Nice dribbling skills from the man from Canberra. Triple team on Melvin Thomas, and that's why he missed. Scales again posting up on Reedy. Can't get the shot to go. Swatted by Vlahov. That'll be a North ball.
Right,
4-point deficit.
Give you a little bit of trivia. That little antic right there on the free throw originated at Kansas, where Steve Woodbury went to school.
Oh, Jeff Arnold! And a steal from Vlahov. Arnold again! Oh, and Border was up there to try and stop the dunk.
Nice one, Andrew Gaze. The slides and misses. And the finish by Jeff Arnold. Get another angle at that. Andrew Gaze delivers right before the slip. And Arnold with using all that muscle.
I tell you what, I just cringe when I see Jeff Arnold hang on that rim because I have memories of broken backboards at the Gold Coast a couple of years back.
Big Jim Havrilla. The Vanilla Gorilla.
And this man is the real deal. Jeff Arnold gets the second free throw from the line. Jeff Arnold shoots 68% in the NBL. Shane Heel getting the Adelaide reception that he's come to expect. And that's his answer, almost putting the three. Jeff Arnold gets the board. Now, the Southern team with a bit of a handle on this game. 8 points is their biggest lead. Ronaldson over the top of Melvin Thomas. And North needs those transition baskets. Here comes Thomas now. They're going to execute. Jensen for three. Rims out. And the rebounding is pretty hot under there, Steve.
Nice pass, Tony Ronaldson. Oh, nice.
Oh, Jeff Arnold, how do you do?
Watch this. D-Mac finds the open man as he does so well on the dunk. Oh, man. Wouldn't just dream about playing with that guy. Look at that. Nice pass by Tony Ronaldson himself. Draws the D. Gives it up right at the last minute.
That was a beautiful play. 10-point lead to the South. Jensen now trying to cut it down. Brad Brown's really enjoying himself on the sideline with a double-figure lead. Just over 1 minute left in the first half.
Not to mention a wealth of talent.
Well, that's the big thing for coaching, to be able to pull those big names off the bench. You've got to laugh. Heel fakes the three. Off the screen. Goes out now to Woodbury. Makes the shot, and they needed that. Tightening the game up a little now. They're down by 7. Woodbury with 10 points, the 5th player, the 6th player, in fact, to get into double figures so far in this game. Oh, this is a big bomb from Gaze. It's short. Woodbury again. Scales spins and draws the foul. So a little bit of momentum swing here just to get the North back in the game. They need it before halftime. 37 seconds left.
I really don't think they want to get in an up and down game with the South, especially when Daryl McDonald's in the game, because he's so good at finding the open man.
Scales' first trip to the free throw line, where he shoots 59% for the Canberra Cannons. Scales' 25 points is 7th best in the NBL. Arnold gets the rebound. Jeff Arnold has 4 boards in this game. And a 6-point lead still to the man with the ball.
This is a special play for D-Mac and Pat Reedy, teammates for the North Melbourne Giants. Let's see what they can come up with.
Off the screen from Reedy, and a steal, but not affected cleanly. Ronaldson jumper for three, short. Time running out rapidly. D-Mac has to shoot, he can't. Not tipped in by the South. Arnold gets the board with Reedy. They can't control it. Woodbury gets heel away, and they run out of time. Half-time in the Uncle Toby's All-Star game, and it is Brett Brown's Southern team leading. Is Clarence Tyson with jam number one.
I'll give him a 9.
Javon Scales is next. Now they have 3 dunks in the first round, and the best 2 dunks go through. Steve Carpino, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's very tough to judge that first one because you got to leave yourself somewhere to go. You give him a 10, and you see something better. What are you going to give the next guy?
Well, you never give up your best score or your best dunk on the first round. Here's Jeff Arnold winding up for number 1. Reversal! And the rim rocks like never before. Here we go.
All right. This is going to be tougher than I thought, Billy.
And the scores, all 9s. We haven't got a 10 yet, but the judges are being very generous, Steve.
Well, I don't know, Billy. That was a pretty serious dunk. A big fella with all that ability to concentrate.
Javon Scales. Oh, two-handed. Took off a little inside the free throw line. We've seen better than that from Javon in the NBL.
Can we have does he get a replacement dunk?
Might be first-time nerves here for Javon Scales. Bunch of 5s, couple of 6s.
He looked like Superman.
So right now it's Jeff Arnold leading on 36 from Tyson on 33. And Scales, needless to say, is trailing after that first miss. David Stiff from the Devils. Reverse jam to open it up.
Give him an 8.
Here he is. Lopes in. Not a big run-up for David Stiff. Looks more like a warm-up dunk, this one, but smooth. And that brings a bank of 8s and a couple of 9s. Steve Carfino.
Well, Billy, it's a bit of a disadvantage being that tall because you don't have as far to jump.
So, Darryl McDonald in his first slam dunk competition. Oh, sweet.
10.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Well, that was better, Steve.
That's right. The degree of difficulty on that, cupping it, I don't have to take you through it. You just saw it. That was sweet.
Clean sweep, 40 points, and here is the defending champion, Brett Rainbow, from the Melbourne Tigers. And it's the bounce. And he misses the tip. So maybe some pressure on the man from Melbourne, Steve. Telling.
We had to confer on that one and see what we give a missed dunk. It's a very tough one.
Okay, here we go. The scores, ladies and gents.
Brett Rainbow, the only bench player competing in this year's slam dunk competition. So we're into the second round now, remembering the 2 best scores of the 3 go together. Here's Clarence Tyson. Oh, it's a heavy one. And that was the power in the Powerade coming out of Clarence Tyson.
The judges with their scores.
Oh, the crowd not happy with the judges' result here. Let's have a quick last look at Clarence winding up.
Jeff Arnold from Geelong.
That was plenty mean, but the judges just as mean. Jeff Arnold. Oh, cocked it, and then rammed it home. Wasn't happy with the result.
A 9.
The judges.
Steve, what do you think?
Well, Billy, it's a disadvantage, like I said, to be tall. The guy is very big. He doesn't have to jump as high.
But he still pulled all 9s, Jeff Arnold.
It was very nice. 9's a good score.
So, Javon Scales with the reverse jam. Baseline. We'll have another look at that one.
9.
8. Steve Carfino changing his mind on the score. We'll come back to him in a moment. There's Scales with the reverse dunk, and there it is. A couple of 9s, 4 8s.
Okay. Well, Billy, I know it seems like we're giving some low scores, but to me, by far, the best dunk was D-Max.
Now, David Stiff, how far out is he going to take off? Not a long way. Spins and jams. Now, what do you give a 360? Here it is.
I'll give him
That's our first 360. And Steve Carfino with a 10, and they've all given a 10. Steve.
Well, Billy, I wasn't sure right there. It wasn't as spectacular, but it was. I can't take it away from him. He executed it very well.
D-Mac with the bounce play this time. Oh, he nearly got it. That was a great adjustment. Well, that puts a lot of pressure on the competition because D-Mac was leading with all 10s. Stiff's come along and pulled out some 10s in the second round, and now D-Mac with the miss has gone backwards, so it tightens right up now.
Yeah, Billy, that one really opened it up. He was the favorite. Anything could happen now.
David Stiff leading this competition now with 73 points, but he's only 1 point ahead of Jeff Arnold. And Rainbow gives us the rainbow dunk. But he's got some catching up to do, the defending champion. He's got to make this and his next dunk big. So he goes for that one, gets 110. We're still waiting for Mean Al Green. He gives him another 10. And it's 4 9s. Steve, Al's not as mean as we thought. Must be his old age.
Al's very generous over there, gave him a 10, but you know, I've seen that dunk before, and the crowd didn't respond that wildly to it, so I gave him a 9.
Clarence Tyson now, back to the bucket. Oh, between the legs.
5.
How about a round of applause for Mr. Tyson?
Clarence Tyson misses. So Tyson was 69.
Okay, the judges score.
This is a tight competition. We've got Stiff with 73 progressively. Arnold with 72, but remember, the best 2 count.
Right now, Billy, it's very important for these guys to make the dunk because they don't want to get 5s all the way across the board.
Arnold winds it up and misses. And that makes it interesting.
5.
Because Jeff Arnold was putting pressure on David Stiff. So David Stiff in the box seat now. If he can make his last dunk, he's looking good. Here are the scores.
Remember, the highest score and the lowest.
And Steve, I think this has given David Stiff the inside running.
If he just goes up there and does anything and just makes it, if he gets a 7, he's looking pretty good.
But remembering, Brett Rainbow missed his first. If he pulls out a big one on the second, he could be again in the 1. Oh, Javon Scales! The cartwheel jam. I like it. And so far, the judges are liking it. Here it is again. You talk about palming the ball. That was neat. Grant Kenny gives it a 9.
Yeah, Billy, it's about time they started booing somebody else.
Well, you better get a ski paddle and whack him over the head, Steve. I didn't like that call. Oh, Stiff was looking for the rebound jam off the glass. And boy, has that thrown the thing wide open. Now, Javon Scales is sitting on 73, Stiff on 73. That's their 2 best scores. Arnold's on 72, and we've got Tyson on 69. Now, that's their final scores.
All right, the judges have made their marks.
That will be their final scores. Now, here is a chance. Darryl McDonald has got a big chance here despite the miss. He's got a 40-point dunk on his belt. If he makes a 34-pointer here, he can get home with Rainbow to come. Oh, and he missed it!
Wow.
Oh, that would have been means something
I give him a
else.
6 for that.
Well, Steve, maybe it's the atmosphere here, but I haven't seen this many missed dunks.
Well, if he made that one, I was going to give him 2 10s, Billy.
The judges have given straight sixes. Okay, time.
Well, 6s for effort, but now, after that brilliant first dunk, D-Mac has slipped down, and Brett Rainbow has a chance. He's got to make a 38-point dunk. I make it 37. He can make a 37-point dunk and win this. Oh, he does! That's going to make it very interesting. Can Brett Rainbow three-peat? I think he will. He will. He's won again. That is a magnificent finish. Brett Rainbow, the dunk master from Melbourne, has got 10s all the way. Steve, he's won it.
Has he, Billy? Man, I wasn't tallying up the scores, but he said he had a couple of new dunks, and that one was great. Reached back and executed it.
A final score to Brett Rainbow, 77. He beat Scales and Stiff by 4. He beat Arnold by 5. With this lineup that is truly North. Leroy Loggins with the jump shot, can't hit. And Robert Rose rebounds. 6-point lead. Vlahoff hoping to make it 8 or even more. Gaze. Rose, jumper for 2, hits it, and there it is, 79-71, and Rob Rose takes it to a game-high 20 points.
They're trying to get him some offense, or I don't care what state they throw at him, they could be in trouble.
Now inside, nice pass.
The personal foul. Assistant number 10.
And the replay here of cutting Derek Rucker. And that's what you do when the double team goes down on the low post. You send your players towards the basket, to the front of the basket. They've got to find an opening to make them pay for double teaming.
Derek Rucker, a 90% free throw shooter. That's the 3rd best in the league. He was the MVP in 1990, playing, of course, for the Brisbane Bullets. He certainly likes the sunshine when he plays in Australia, going even further north. Lobbed in there, Dorge posting up, double teamed, and steal from Leroy, but Dorge gets it back. A little bit of luck there for the South, and even more as we see Darryl McDonald tidy up. Rose got in and helped, and Darryl McDonald makes it 81-73. Brett Brown smiling. If they can get this lead to double figures, it will be clearly the biggest of the game. Heel working his way inside, tough shot, good rebounding from Tyson.
And Heels hit the floor very, very hard.
The basket counted, and so did Shane Heel.
The personal foul. Assistant number 13.
You see penetration by Shane Heel. He tries to find a path to the basket, lost his balance. That's where the foul occurred, on the arm. Clarence Tyson.
Clarence Tyson on the free throw line. What a year. He made the best debut of any import in the league this year with 38 points and 10 rebounds against Brisbane. Since then, he's settled down to a 22-point per game average with 62% shooting, and that's the 2nd best in the league. And for a man who's only 198 centimeters, matching up against 200+ nearly every week, it's a great performance. Back outside, Vlahoff was looking for Rob Rose, but a little touch there. That's why Rose didn't want to get hold of that ball, because the southern defense, the northern defense, just got a touch to it. 81-75. Gaze, turnaround jump shot for 2. Opens up that 8-point lead again. Rucker puts the steps on McDonald. Loggins for 3. Can't make it. Can't tip it in either. Steve Woodbury, but Heel gets it. Rucker fakes. Oh, almost a sensational pass. Leroy was going up for it, but Rob Rose, good D.
Also, the South, with their defensive intensity, get a lot of hands on the basketball and passes like that. That was a great pass, but still, the constant pursuit on D. Tapped that one away and disallowed 2 points. Oh, double. Double dribble. He did it so quick. He almost got away with it.
A rare mistake from Shane Heal, but I must say the crowd are giving him a rotten time. 83-75, just over 10 minutes left, third quarter. Vlahoff out in the perimeter. This game will decide. Oh, it's rimmed out. Dorj can't get... Nice pass, Derek Rucker. Back out to Leroy for three. And a great bit of D from D-Mac. Just got a hand to that ball as it went off, or at least got a hand on Leroy's hand.
You can just feel the momentum swinging towards the South. North just don't look very confident in their offensive stuff. And they're not attacking like they did to start the game.
Woodbury, still this all Queensland lineup. Rucker can't get the lay in. A rare miss again. So things just not happening for them, and Dorj solid as ever under the bucket. In fact, he's got 7 rebounds for the game. And another nail in the coffin. 10-point lead to the Southern team, and this team with the ball now has got to start working a little harder. Woodbury looks for the lob pass for a moment as Heal cut baseline, but Loggins works his way in. Tyson had to adjust his shot. Great play, Clarence Tyson, because John Dorj had just about shut him out, but great transition. No, Vlahoff misses. Leroy controls. Vlahoff cleaned up. One of our cameramen. In the meantime, back up the other end, we've got D-Mac on transition. And can't get it to go, but Dorj gets the ball and makes it a comfortable 2. John Dorj goes to 7 points for the game. Here's the cameraman now, about to be cleaned up by Andrew Vlahoff. Whoops. Sorry about that, Chief.
I can't believe he didn't hold the shot.
Well, they're tough guys. The cameramen, I mean. Oh, another turnover here. Rose beautifully to Gaze. Now Vlahoff lays it in. Well, now we're getting a bit of a swing. 89-77. It's a 12-point lead, and the South looking very solid. Bruce Palmer's got to think about some changes. He's already got Trimmingham on court. And he wrestles the ball away, Trimmingham, and pulls off a pretty tough bucket. Goes to 10 points for the game.
Just like in the first half, you think it was a lucky shot. He had it slapped away from him. He still had the soft hands to put it in.
Gaze fakes the 3, gets over Rucker. D-Man, oh, what a pass! And great D from the North to deny John Dorj the score, and Darryl McDonald the assist. Steve Woodbury, 10 points down, drives inside, pops it. Oh, yes! Finally. 12 points for the game, Steve Woodbury. He and Tyson lead all scorers for the North.
D-Mac just starting to get a feel for this game, getting into his rhythm. Anything's possible when he starts feeling good.
Rob Rose off the Dorj screen. That 3 would have really hurt, but in the end, Scales gets a rebound. And Bruce Palmer working Scales and Trimmingham into the game. Another miss, though. Jeff Arnold getting ready to check in. Here's D-Mac, coast to coast. And that is a 10-point lead again. This is the move in the third quarter from the Southern team, and it's been built on defense, just as Brett Brown predicted. The alley-oop didn't come off there, but Tyson does get the points.
16 points for the game.
Melvin Thomas gets into the game.
Number 32,
Well, it's Clarence Tyson, 14 points, 7 of 11. There's Brett Brown. He's doing a great job, Steve.
Despite that flurry by the South, they're only down by 8 points. They just cannot allow the D-Mac to get in transition. They got to slow this game down a little bit.
Andrew Gaze. Arnold give and go and give again. Can't get the shot to go. And Scales, they're running it again. This Northern team. Rucker for 3. And he makes it. Well, Rucker had all the time in the world. Now they've night out.
Yeah, just as hairy.
Robert Rose can't get the shot. Tip in. Leon Trimmingham was kind of hoping he could do that at the other end of the court. A 7-point lead to the South.
It's happened twice tonight.
Melvin Thomas. Alley-oop play. Trimmingham, though, was well guarded. D-Mac fires it to Gaze, who handles it pretty well. D-Mac burnt the fingers of some of his teammates when he first started training with the Giants early last year. Oh, tough play. Off inside baseline. The big man shot 10 last year at 50% for the Boomers in the All-Star game. Steve Woodbury. And this has got to be execution time. No basket.
Again, showing you the ability. Let's talk about the ability to find the open man again, D-Mac. Great D by Derek Rucker, but he still finds a way to punish it. Easy basket for Andrew Vaughn.
So 95-86. Woodbury gets a rest. Tony Jensen comes into the game. And now Scales getting some heavy traffic there. Tony Robinson finishes up on his back.
On Scales, he's got a bit of a scowl there, a la Bruce Bolden. Very rarely smiles out on the court.
11 rebounds in 1995 per game. He also picks up a couple of assists.
I wouldn't even go as far as saying smiling. He just scowls.
Scales now with 12 points for the game, and that's where it'll stay as Arnold gets the defensive rebound. Jeff Arnold with 5 for the game, 4 of them on the defensive end. Pat Reedy, Ronald, some little fake off the D-Mac screen. Reedy now also faking and losing the handle. Rucker beautifully controlled against the double team, trying to throw him over the sideline. There he is again. Melvin Thomas, and touched away by D-Mac, who had a big smile on his face after that play. Rucker from a long way out, rims out but touched in. Scales gets in the act again, and he's now picking up some points. 14 with Tyson leading all scorers in his team. Another momentum swing happening here. Brett Brown chastising the refs and about to put on the hometown hero Mark Davis as his team clings to a 6-point lead. Scales, nice assist. Melvin Thomas, Scales drew the D, and now the game tightens up again. This is a good run from the Northern team. And Mark Davis checks in for his Adelaide teammate Robert Rose. There's the replay.
Javon Scales finding the open man when there was nowhere to go. He's so tough down there, you have to draw the double team. There's a mismatch.
Posting up on Tony Jensen, but now he's got some help, Tony Jensen, and they foul Mark Davis. The croc, that's something for the referees.
He's giving the referees a pasting tonight, isn't he?
Well, he's The mascots have done a magnificent job. Ray Hunt, of course, trying not to look, but the refs have taken all this razzing in pretty good fashion.
They have to. They're referees. They chose to be referees.
That's the hard part to understand, isn't it? Jerome Scott is about to get into the game for the Southern team. They lead by 5, but the North has the ball. But if you have any doubts as to the quality of these players, as Thomas misses the shot, kept in play, but D-Mac handles it. This game features the MVP from 6 of the last 7 All-Star games. There you go. Ronaldson with the bomb long. And hustle by Trimmingham, controls it. Here we go. Brett Brown wants a timeout because the North has cut his lead to 3. And he's now been able to pull his team to the bench.
See another angle. Leon Trimmingham takes off just inside the dotted. Looked like he took off too far. Got too high. I'll tell you what, if I could get up that high, I'd probably dunk it a different way.
Okay, thanks, Grant. I'll let you get back to the game. Back to you, Bill.
All right, thank you, Paul. One of the many pleased spectators here. They'll be even more pleased if the South can get up, I can assure you of that, as Trimmingham gets the rebound. I think Trimmingham's going to spend a lot of time on court in this game now. As Scales, tough as ever, gets the roll. Count. That 96, plays 95 now. This has been a good run from the North.
Gets those tough baskets. There's Reedy just kind of leaning on him, goes up. I guess that's where the foul occurs. Couldn't really see it. Patrick wasn't too impressed. Get another angle. Good. Goes up right there. Patrick Reedy got a bit of ball there. I can see why he's a little unhappy. Leon again.
Trimmingham! Turned out to be a 4-point play. 97-96. The North have hit the lead again. But they had a long wait to get there. Scott finds Arnold now. Reedy. Ronaldson. Arnold with the mid-range jump shot. Won't connect. Melvin Thomas unleashes that man Trimmingham, who holds it up. A nice pass, no look inside. Scales can't get it. Big man Mark Davis does. Jerome Scott, the only player yet to score in this game. Fed Reedy, who dishes. Davis fakes the three. This is for two. Blocked by Tony Jensen. Athleticism, and at the other end, Jensen makes it a potential 4-point play. Davis may have hit that. Instead, Tony gets it at the other end, and they're leading by 3. Ronaldson can't erase that. Jerome Scott, double-teamed, almost dispossessed, but now Mark Davis steadies the ship, and this has been a game of amazing fluctuations. Here's Scott, and hits the three. His first points of the All-Star game. Everybody has now got on the ledger.
And there's no man more elite than him.
The funny thing is, sorry Steve, Shane Heal is one of the few players who's not scored in 2 All-Star games. Only 3 players have failed to score in an All-Star game. Heal is one of them.
I find that hard to believe.
It is, isn't it? It's strange. But there you go. And Jerome Scott was threatening to join that elite club, but now no problem. Just over 2 minutes left in the third quarter. It's all square. 99 points. This would be a very, very unpopular call if Mark Davis has peaked for a foul in the powerhouse.
It usually is, because what happens is guys drive to the basket, their feet get tangled up. And for no apparent reason, really, the guy gets to go to the free throw line. I really think that they should just award the team that had the basketball the ball out and not call a foul when there's a tripping foul occurred.
Leroy Loggins about to get into the game. Melvin Thomas on the free throw line. Melvin Thomas, the 4th best scorer in the NBL with 28 points at 54%. First time he's been to the free throw line tonight, where he shoots 69% for the Hawks. Pat Reedy, and now Jerome Scott, who I'm sure is pleased to get that monkey off his back. I bet he was aware that he was the only non-scorer. Reedy strokes short. Jerome Scott long. And that came off Jeff Arnold. So North will reset their offense with the game all square. And they will get Leroy Loggins into the game right now. Melvin Thomas gets a rest. Under 2 minutes in the third quarter. And this is what we want to see. There was a little danger there that the South might have got a grip on this game, but no, we're going to have it go to the wire, we hope. Scott tagging Heal. Jensen off the border screen, but runs into Jeff Arnold, which is not pleasant. Heal. Trimmingham, hook. Well, in the end, it wasn't really, but he just lobbed it in. 2-point lead to the North. Turnover, so they've cranked it up on D. Bruce Palmer's got his team fired up now at that end of the court. Jensen with the fake. And Leroy Loggins wasn't expecting that pass. There's the line getting excited about the game. He's got his clothes back on, thank goodness. And AC/DC, this is like a bit of history.
Oh, he feels right at home in Adelaide, the old Lion.
Well, I must say, when the mascots first came out in the Future Forces game yesterday, of course, the Magpie was the only one who got a cheer because he was the local hero. But all the mascots have won over the crowd here in Adelaide, and that's great to see.
It's great to see that, because they deserve it. They're working hard. They're a very talented bunch.
Jeff Arnold now with Scott, who has a look at the shot clock. No problem there. It's still 20 seconds. Reedy. Arnold backs away, and he loves that jump shot. Jeff Arnold, if anyone had any doubts about his credibility as an import, 12 points for this game at 71%. He hasn't taken a bad shot. He's got 5 rebounds, and he is the goods. And I'm sure Jim Calvin, the Geelong coach, will be very pleased to see him show his true quality. Shane Hale, unlike him, not having a good night. Mark Davis, likewise, losing the handle on that. Leroy Loggins has a look at the game clock because now we're onto the 22nd mark, counting down to the end of the third quarter. It's 101 apiece.
The South will take it down to 1 shot, and the North will try and trap them. They take the basketball out of the ball handler's hands.
The crowd now counting down. Chance for the North to go to the lead right on 3/4 time. They can't. And that's how the quarter will finish. Leroy asked the referee for a foul, but that won't happen now. Too late. And we go to the final change. Is the 20 who will battle it out for 1995. Great D from Tony Jensen on Reedy, but he fouls him. Among the great names to grace the courts in All-Star basketball, Steve Carfino in 1988 with 18 points, 5 boards and 7 assists. Paul Kuiper in 1990 with 15 points and 6 rebounds. And Mark Davis raises the roof of the powerhouse with 2 more points to take his tally in this game to 12. And his team leads by 2. Trimmingham posting up on Ronaldson, shoots it short after some tough D. Leroy Loggins is there, as always, to tidy up. Takes his tally to 11. Leroy shooting at 36% tonight, but he is taking tough shots. Arnold, speaking of which, rims out with the 3-point attempt. Trimmingham gets Loggins' play back down court, and once again, Steve, Bruce Palmer's got these guys running.
He sure does. He wants these guys to pick up the tempo and try and get something to go their way. Just can't seem to force the issue because the D for the North, for the South has just been tough.
Coast to coast. Jerome Scott buying into this game to give his team a 2-point lead. Tony Jensen at the other end went up for the pass. Probably thought Reggie Smith was going to be there, but instead Jeff Arnold got it to Jerome, who converted it to points and drew the foul.
And to get it at another angle, he drives hard to the basket with the left hand. Not as flashy as the D-Mac, but very difficult to stop. For the Devils, he does just about everything for him. And he's also a very good defender.
3-point lead to the South, cranking it up.
South's guards have done a very good job containing Shane Heel and Derek Rucker.
Bullet pass from Loggins. And Borner is fouled. Jeff Arnold didn't like the call. Ray Borner at the moment shooting only 3 points for the game, looking to add to his tally because nobody wants to be the lowest scorer in this game.
Well, we couldn't really see it there, but Jeff Arnold didn't feel like he got any of the arm.
Borner does have 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. And in this game, he's shooting 75% from the line. It's just ticked up to 80 with that success. Hit another one. 5 of 6 tonight. He averages 19 points a game for the Cannons at a healthy 57% this year. In fact, he can shoot 33% from 3-point range, Ray Borner. His game has been so well developed since that MVP year in '85. And credit to Ray that there are a lot of good centers coming into this league to match up with, guys like Reggie Smith.
Sure. He does a good job of playing in the high post because he can stick that medium range jump shot. He works very well with a good low post player like Javon.
Another foul called there as Trimmingham tried to get a handle. Just over 10 minutes left in this game. And it's the South leading by 1. Bruce Palmer with the specs on. So he's taken a very close look at this game now. Getting a little more serious perhaps. Tightening the belt, clapping the hands. I don't think Bruce wants to lose this game, despite the fact that he said it's been one of the most beautiful weeks of the year where he's just been able to relax and not do all those busy things he has to do for Brisbane. Trimmingham, tough shot. Ronaldson now unleashing Pat Reedy, looking to improve on his 7-point game. Runs straight into Tony Jensen, but hits the jump shot. 3-point lead now to the Southern team. Pat Reedy. 100 158 NBL games behind him. Shot 16 points last year for the Boomers. Another turnover here. Arnold, long two. Leroy Loggins, and again, the North runs it back. Oh, Leroy, tough play, couldn't get the roll. Can they get the tip in? Yes! With a little help from Clarence Tyson, who just put a bit of weight on those bodies that surrounded Leroy.
Sweet move by Leroy, nice and soft. That's why the offensive rebound is possible. Again and again, Clarence Tyson up there. That time Leroy gets the tip. Sweet basket.
Well, Brett Brown is certainly winning the crowd over by putting Rose on and Davis. And he's left Jerome Scott in there because he's starting to get into this game. Davis posting up on Tyson and Scales. Reedy goes inside, loses it. And Steve Woodbury having a very consistent game at both ends, Steve.
Sure is. He's played, and he's doing that all year with the Gold Coast Rollers. And Jerome Scott thought he got that one clean.
That had dunk written all over it, but Ray Hunt said, no, I'm going to wipe that off.
And Jerome continues to do a good job on containing Derek Rucker. Jerome Scott and the D-Mac, they've been tandem.
Well, having just announced that the Adelaide players were on together, Brett Brown has substituted Mark Davis to the boos of the crowd. Andrew Vlahoff gets on, and he's putting Andrew Gaze into the game as well. A little bit of extra weaponry there. And Gaze is on 15 points, one of those games where he's just sneaking along. The silver bullet, doing a magnificent job.
I don't know how many times we said how loaded these lineups are. Woodbury again.
And he hits. So now it's a one-point ball game. But they lead the North. Andrew Gaze trying to rectify that. Vlahoff patient on Tyson. Ronaldson wide open for three. And he makes it. 111 to 109. The North now are trailing. And this has been the pattern of the game all along. If you just joined us, so you haven't missed much except some excellent play. Trimmingham counts. And so it's tied up again, but Trimmingham will have the chance to take his team to the lead. His score is 18. He now leads all scorers for the Northern team. Bruce Palmer making a lot of use of him in this half. He's 9 for 13 from the field with 8 rebounds.
How many off-balance jump shots can Leon make in one game? That's about 5.
He's had to make a lot of adjustments. The D has been tough. He's now taken his tally to 19 and his team leads by 1. Vlahoff fires at Gaze with the jumper for 2. It's long. Ronaldson helped out, but Trimmingham, he's camped outside the perimeter to get that transition play. And Vlahoff monsters Javon Scales, takes it. Trimmingham gets it back. He's put the ball on the floor a lot tonight. Scales now looking for options. Rucker is looking for a score, and he makes it. 114 to 111. So are we seeing a little momentum swing back to the North? Jerome Scott gets a rest. D-Mac is on court. Brett Brown throwing in some weaponry here. Just under 8 minutes left in this game. Darryl McDonald brings the ball up. So close to beating Andrew Gaze last year for MVP. It was one of the tightest judgments ever. And that man beat him in the end. And almost beat the defense. But a charge is called. So the swing continues.
Get another look at it right here. Andrew Gaze going to the basket hard. Melvin Thomas. Toughest call in basketball. Charge block.
Woodbury. Almost a steal from Vlahoff. Rucker. His only option is to go back to Woodbury, who puts the steps on Gaze. Shot clock winding down. Tap in, doesn't go, but Scales roars with that success. He's 7 of 10 now, Javon Scales, for his 16 points. A block there from Melvin Thomas. So they're making it tough now, North on the defensive end. Vlahoff can't get the score. Scales is ripping it. Vlahoff fighting it. And Ronaldson losing it. Thomas cleans up for Rucker.
Derek Rucker. And watch this as he fakes the pass. Doesn't even touch it with his left hand. Doesn't touch it with his left hand. Gets the D off him, and oh, nice soft touch with the finger roll.
Hang time for Derek Rucker. Speaking of gimmicks, this man has a few. Darryl McDonald, there's the score, and just under 7 minutes. Oh, Robert Rose! Oh, that's going to be a disaster for the referees.
Okay, let's see where Robert Rose pushes off. He pushes, actually, I believe the foul was on Dorge. If you look at it closely, Andrew Gaze launches this one. Let's see if we can get a look. In the back is actually John Dorge. Gets the foul. You can get a better look here. John Dorge shoves Melvin Thomas in the back, and it was Robert Rose who finished off.
Thomas nails it from the line. Well, this is now big trouble for the Southern team. Melvin Thomas, his third All-Star appearance. Rob Rose, oh, tough play, draws the foul. The crowd likes that. They're enjoying the Uncle Toby's, but they want to see Rob Rose take this game out for them.
Robert Rose actually stepped on the foot of Clarence Tyson on that one. He gets fouled as he made that big bounding step towards the basket. Gets to the line, boy, I tell you what, he's going to have the ball in his hands at the end of this one. Sorry, Billy, there's a lot of players who actually want the ball in their hands.
Bruce Palmer's forced the pace in this game, hasn't he? And yet, final quarter, 6.5 minutes left. The guys are still going at it hard. No easy baskets, as what Rose is finding out. Thomas getting involved again. 10 points for the game. A 10-point lead to the Northern team.
Last play right here. Derek Rucker spots Javon. He spotted Melvin Thomas earlier, but he just couldn't get past the D. Melvin Thomas, nice finish.
Well, the South were favorites to win this game.
Big favorites.
And the underdogs have a good record. Oh, D-Mac, I wonder if he should have gone alone on that play. Well, certainly these guys aren't working alone. Now D-Mac to Rose for three. Can't make it. But great rebounding from Vlahoff. Sets up Gaze on the perimeter. And they're just not shooting the crunch baskets yet. And that is a Northern ball. Trouble time here. Brett Brown's team had a 10-point lead. Third quarter, but they got it back. Oh, that would have hurt. Woodbury almost finished it off. But this is what the Southern team needs, is turnovers. They need to hit some shots. Take it into double figures, or single figures, I should say. D-Mac banks it. Oh, can't get the roll.
Ball just not bouncing the right way for the South. Great penetration by the D-Mac. But now they're in a desperate situation. Not quite yet, but in an all-star game, you have 5 players who are used to being the go-to man, and when they get it, they feel like they can win it for their team.
Gaze driving inside. He's lost the handle again. Heavy contact in there. Here's Scales. Thomas getting a lot of transition baskets here. 12 points now for the game. Gaze. They're down by 12. D-Mac. Oh, an unusual attempt. He doesn't make many threes. Rob Rose tries to dish. He gets it back. He banks it. Rob Rose doing his utmost to try and lift his team in this game. Leo Trimmingham now comes onto the court, and Leroy Logan. So interesting play here, Steve. Bruce Palmer replacing Tyson and Thomas, giving them a rest. They look a bit weary. That was the Rob Rose play. But I think now Bruce Palmer trying to consolidate. Full court pressure from the South.
Of course he's going to go with Leroy Loggins. With a tight game, he wants that man in the basketball game.
Block from Dodge. Can't get the inbound pass, though. It finished up coming from a Southern player. Derek Rucker. Trimmingham. Woodbury runs and shoots. Oh, Trimmingham beaten to the rebound by Dodge again. Dodge with 10 boards for the game. Gaze, they've got to put some points on the board. Gaze for three. Head set. Oh, boy. 124 plays 117 now. They need a turnover here. Trimmingham dishes. Good D from the south. But Scales is tough. Gets it back and scores. Takes them out now to a 9-point lead. Another turnover. Trimmingham and Vlahoff gets it back. Dish to D-back and Gaze lays it in. The South is on the move and he drew the foul. Brett Brown remonstrating with his players.
Top tournament.
He does. Woodbury. Well, Steve, this is a test. Who can snatch this game? There are many who are capable.
Well, you know nobody's going to lose it. They're going to go out to win it. Oh, hang time.
Another turnover, and listen to the crowd. Oh. Wow. Nobody can compete with the powerhouse when it is at its peak. And this is noise. Oh, Leroy Watkins. Let's have a look at this last transition basket.
Andrew Gaze threads the needle to D-Mac, but what's even more amazing was that he caught it, controlled it, and scored. Tell me Andrew Gaze wasn't pumped up. If that missed, he was ready to tip jam it.
Coming off the bench for the Southern team is that man there and the man next to him and the woman next to him. I'm talking about the crowd at the powerhouse. John Dodge, and a scream of anxiety as Leroy Loggins foils the offense, but they'll get it back. It's a 3-point game, 2 minutes, 19 seconds in it. And the crowd dearly wants this team to win. Darryl McDonald, they've shot off him because they know he won't shoot the three. Vlahoff blocked. Tyson gets up there. That's Tyson. 14 points for the game. He's got 6 rebounds, 2 blocks.
This has got the intensity of a playoff game. There are going to be no easy baskets with just over 2 minutes left to play in this basketball game.
Well, doesn't it make you glad we've returned to the format that was missing for 3 years? The Boomers needed the practice for the last few years, but those sort of games can still be arranged. This is very much the all-star weekend as we know and love it. Vlahoff sinks the second. It's a 2-point game. And Trimmingham gives Rucker the handle. Tyson. Loggins now. Jump shot hits. Inside 2 minutes. And the North now leads by 4 points.
And that man right there, doesn't he come alive with less than 2 minutes to play and a game on the line?
Now you don't want to miss Rose. Oh, he's made it! Oh, Robert Rose! No one on this court is more familiar with the powerhouse than Robert Rose. And that comfort is showing. He's 31 points for the game. Head and shoulders above the rest. And more importantly, his team is only 1 point down. And Loggins tries to answer. Instead, Trimmingham with the hang tips it in. They're back in the lead by 3.
The North have answered almost every time. Oh!
What a block! Now Rucker Rose is back to block him. Loggins lays it in. And cool play, forcing a timeout call by Brett Brown. 136 to 100.
the trail, and Robert Rose had no choice because Derek Rucker be capable of scoring that one too. Big basket for the North.
Just over a minute left now. Gaze for three. Oh, he's done it! Oh, yes! 2-point ball game here in the Uncle Toby's All-Star. Spectacular. Woodbury.
You think they worked that one out in the timeout, Billy?
Brett Brown had the whiteboard there, and Rose. Oh, Gaze. Breakaway here. Dodge gets the two, and it's all square. There it is. 136 all at the powerhouse. Steve Woodbury. What can they do? This won't be their last possession. Oh, Rucker, this is for two. Oh, he's hit it. Derek Rucker, this is the last play of the game. Will we see overtime? Oh, that would really nail it. They trail by two, but seconds ticking down. Vlahoff dishes. McDonald! They've tied it up. Time running out. Rucker, he'll have to shoot it himself. There's no one there. But Woodbury gets it. Right on the buzzer. They've won it. The Northern team has won. Oh, what a finish.
Oh, man.
Derek Rucker had no help until Steve Woodbury arrived at the last second, literally, to win the game for Bruce Palmer's Northern team. But what an exhibition of NBL basketball we've seen today. 140 to 1. As we expected from one heck of a game. Leon Trimmingham finished up top scoring for the North. He bought in big in the second half. Javon Scales also played well in the paint. Leroy Loggins, as usual, was heavily involved. Woodbury and Clarence Tyson, another marvellous performance. For the South, Andrew Gaze also got involved in the second half. Andrew Vlahoff was tough everywhere. Daryl McDonald steered the team well, and Jeff Arnold as well. But Robert Rose, 31 points, led all scorers, an MVP performance. Firstly, Rob, congratulations.
It's a close game all the way around, and the stats do indicate that. The win goes to the North. Great battle. How many times did you think the shots won the basketball game? The field goal percentage was almost identical. Free throw shooting didn't play that much part. The guys didn't shoot too much from the line. 3-point percentage, the guys were trying to win the game. We had so many go-to players out on the court. They all thought that they were going to bring their team home. Rebounds pretty close, and the turnovers were pretty close too. All in all, a great match.